This tutorial will show you how to add a ScreenPal activity or quiz to MyCourses. You'll start by going to the Add Activity or Resource button at the bottom of your module, and then when you're in the Activity Chooser, you'll select the ScreenPal version 1.3 plugin. From the plugin menu, you will then skip over the activity name and go to the Select Content button. Once you click that button, you'll be making the connection between ScreenPal and MyCourses. This may take a moment. You'll then see ScreenPal version 1.3 populate in the activity name. Underneath, you'll then click the Show More button and go down to ensure activity name is clicked, and you'll change Embed under Launch Container to New Window to ensure that you're able to see the full window of options in the ScreenPal menu. You'll then save and return to your course. You've now created the initial connection between ScreenPal and MyCourses. Now it's time to select the activity that you'd like to attach to MyCourses. Clicking into the ScreenPal activity you've already created, you'll then go into your ScreenPal menu from that button and look through your video collection to identify the video you'd like to attach. You'll have some options here on this to include things like a title, captions, and others, and then you'll be able to click the Embed Video option in the far right corner. That video will then populate in the large screen to ensure that you're seeing the video you've selected for your students. Once you're happy with that option, you'll want to probably go back and change the title of this to the name of the video, which you can do by changing the settings for the activity. You'll add your new title, and then you can save and return to your course. I always like to do one last check to make sure that what I've attached to the course is the video that I intend. So I usually go back in, click into the activity to ensure that what I'm seeing on the screen is the video I've selected for my students. Now we're going to create a quiz activity through ScreenPal. You'll start by creating your ScreenPal connection, and then when you go in to select your activity, you'll use your ScreenPal menu to select quizzes from your collection. You'll identify the quiz that you want to pull into ScreenPal's LMS connection, and then you'll use that same menu of options that you saw for the regular activity to make changes to any characteristics you want to include. You may also want to change the size of the screen for the students. Once you've selected your quiz, you'll also have the option to change quiz options that are specific for quizzes, like skipping, score and result visibility, and question markers on the timeline. You'll also need to make changes to the way that the quiz is graded. It's very important that you click the Auto Sync to Gradebook. This is defaulted. You'll want to make sure it stays defaulted. Manually graded items are short answer quiz questions. You'll then click the Embed Quiz button, and that will pull the quiz in, and your students will see the content that you have selected. The last thing you'll want to do, as with before, is change the title of this activity to be more specific to the quiz that you're having your students take. You'll do this by going into the settings and changing the activity name to indicate a quiz. While you're in your settings, be sure to check your grade and make sure that you've got your item counted as a grade and in a category that a grade is going to be assigned. Now before we leave this tutorial, I want to go over a couple of more settings that you'll actually want to work with from the ScreenPal side. These settings are important to make before you have your students begin their quiz activity to ensure that the grades come through on the side of the LMS. So you'll start in ScreenPal and you'll go to your quiz tab, and once you're here, you'll identify the quiz that you're going to have your students work on in this activity. Once you've selected your quiz, you'll get a new set of options to look through, and you'll go to the Assignment and Settings option, which is the second tab. In the Assignment and Settings options, the first thing you'll want to check is that the LMS is selected, that you see the Connected to Moodle, and that Auto Sync to Gradebook is marked. Then, under the assignment settings, you can work down the menu yourself and make decisions based on what works for you. There may be some options that you want to turn on or options that you want to turn off. The last setting, the schedule quiz setting, is the most critical. By turning on your schedule, what you're asking ScreenPal to do is then to push those grades into the gradebook at a certain time. By setting a start and an end date, you are allowing ScreenPal to sync to the gradebook. This is an important setting. Once you've made your changes, you may want to just double check to see that the timestamp or the time zone is correct. That can really mess everybody up if it's not. And if you need to change this, you'll do that under your profile in ScreenPal. You can see here I've changed mine to Eastern Time Zone. These settings will allow your quiz to populate the gradebook in MyCourses correctly so that your students can complete the activity.